NATURENET School continues. School and reforestation. In search of answers on dying planets. Combine effort with professionals in education, forestry, wildlife, agriculture, herbal, water and irrigation to empower schools to conserve the environment. Let forestry and agriculture sector train and provide schools with technical expertise needed. Let schools become centers for dispatching indigenous seedlings of trees, fruits and medicinal plants to all villages for planting. Indigenous plants are friendlier and more favored by our local soils and climates. They existed here ever since and can easily be reintroduced back into the local environment with very minimal challenges, if any. Use schools as rescue centers for endangered lower animals too. Some remaining endangered variety of crawling organisms are still hidden somewhere near a school. Rescue many indigenous plants and lower animals that are disappearing from different parts of the planet. Promote peaceful coexistence and teamwork through joint projects with communities around to conserve the environment. This will extend reforestation program into villages without resistance. Educational forests. Grass and shrubs hold soil. To succeed in reviving indigenous plants, stop soil erosion. Inspire local people to participate in the project. They understand indigenous plants. Counting first bird to colonize young forests. Cover schools with indigenous forests. It will demonstrate to local people the joy of a green world. Villages will reciprocate the idea once started. Admirable green look will motivate many to introduce more indigenous plants for all generations to learn. With a strong school constitution, demonstration school forests will be easier to protect and to sustain, probably better than trees growing in open forests. Many indigenous trees are threatened by extinction. Local people cut them for timber, firewood, and for charcoal due to poverty. Change public attitude towards nature through demonstration forests. Schools have many eyes on watch for loggers who may attempt to destroy the forests. Enact more binding laws to protect endangered plants. With strict laws, no administrator will try to destroy a school forest put under their care. First Lady Margaret Kenyatta waters a young tree. Land left bare by harsh human activities can still be reclaimed through concerted efforts fronted by leaders across the world. Leadership and environmental conservation. Lack of adequate trees and grass in schools expose children to harsh and unpalatable learning environments. Without trees and grass, soil erosion thrives. Engage student leadership in the program to improve the environment. It will also improve practical knowledge in children. Expand student leadership to include Department of Environmental Conservation. This will improve maintenance of demonstration forests in school. Destruction of school vegetation. Management of schools should account for their gains or losses in vegetative coverage of their compounds. Ensure amount of indigenous vegetation per square meter of school ground is known and monitored strictly. School committees and boards of management may initiate well-structured programs to monitor and to ensure that reforestation mission within their schools succeed. Reforestation and irrigation. Reforestation program may also be revamped through irrigation where water is available. Reasonable amount of dry lands may be reclaimed progressively with trees the same way it is done in agriculture. School pond for reforestation program. Dry lands are expanding. Use irrigation to reclaim regions bordering water catchment areas to protect them from drying. Water catchment exposed to scorching sun. Use water available in rivers and lakes to increase amount of vegetation along banks. Surveying progress of planted trees. Presence of indigenous trees and other lower plants will encourage many lower animals to survive below. Protect banks of both rivers and lakes alike. Where possible, put them under organizations that champion for environmental management and conservation. This will be safer than leaving water catchment areas open for wider public to misuse. Without education, the public would continue to encroach into forests. Protect endangered vegetation from further destruction. Protect banks of seasonal rivers and lakes progressively to reduce further desertification. If we can pump oil several kilometers to remote towns, shielding catchment areas from drying up is equally viable and possible. Shrubs and grass cover. Tall trees alone, without adequate amount of lower plants, would hardly withstand effects of soil erosion on steep grounds. Lower plants and grass have a major role to play in environmental conservation. They require adequate protection of land just like large trees. Grass and shrubs grow naturally, but can also be planted manually like trees to protect soil erosion. Never allow topsoil to be worn out. Subsoil will follow. Growth of all plants will be jeopardized. Lower plants hold and protect topsoil from running water. The same way trees and crops grow healthily when watered regularly, planted grass and shrubs will also require attention to grow so as to protect topsoil from running. Grass and shrubs giving in. When all vegetations are weeded clean, large trees will never survive. One green plant in a dry land. Grass, shrubs, and trees are gone. When wide lands are threatened, never discriminate any vegetation during reclamation. Provide the first vegetation to emerge on dry ground, the best protection ever. Plants and animals are interdependent. Promote them side by side since they coexist to survive. Tall trees protect shrubs and grass at their base from scorching sun. Trees rely on shrubs and grass to hold soil firmly so that their roots are not exposed by running water. Many living organisms will emerge below growing trees and shrubs to bring back the glamour of the ecosystem rich in life as it was once several decades back. Bee farming in flowery school forests. Develop flowery forests that are conducive for all flying insects like bees to breed with limited maintenance. Trees and flowers attract insects and birds from far. Encourage a complex ecology of life to evolve within school forest. Inspire and challenge children to think creatively to develop their environment into a unique ecosystem. Schools can be developed into reputable centers of applied knowledge where tourists would also desire to visit and learn within natural environments. Medicinal power of a wild green world. Give special attention to all indigenous trees, herbal plants, and wild fruits. Together with traditional vegetables and flowering plants, these wonder plants will regain our immunity. Power of a natural green world. NatureNet School continues.